everybody, how are you going today? It's so good to see you. Well, I wasn't planning on doing this video right now, but it is breaking news for us Nikon users. Super exciting news. It's just dropped on Nikon Rumours, reputable rumour site, that there is a Z6s and a Z7s in the works. Of course, it's a rumour, so these are always shifting sands, but I'm thinking it's highly likely, it's highly logical. We're going to quickly talk about the alleged specs and what does it mean. All right. Okay, so what does all of this mean? Firstly, let's talk about some of the specs. We're talking about 4K, 60 frames per second, which is exciting. I already love using the 4K. I'm shooting on it right now. I think it looks absolutely beautiful on the Nikon. I think Nikon, never known for video, are doing an amazing job in the video space now. The single biggest complaint about the Z6 and Z7, 2 card slots. They're coming. Now, it would seem to be unusual if they went backwards and went to 2 SDs. So it's either going to be 2 XQD/CF Express because they're backwardly compatible, or 1 CF Express and 1 SD. Personally, I'd like to see the 2 times CF Express, but in the D850, it's 1 of each. And that would be considered an all-rounder camera, all the way from hobbyists, enthusiasts, all the way through to professionals. Whereas in the D5 and the D6, you had the opportunity for the 2 times CF Express. I'm not sure these cameras are aimed at that very high level. So if we look at what Nikon's done in the past, I think it's most likely to be 1 of each. And I'm okay with that. It's fine by me. Because the most likely place you need an overflow is with stills. Sorry, not an overflow, a backup is with stills, and SD can keep up with the demands of stills, largely. Whereas if we move into the CF Express space, and we're talking about 8K video and higher bit rates and higher frame rates, which I do think is what's going to be coming very soon with a Z8, then you need these higher speeds and robust cards that are massive and so on and so forth. Next, the potential for a vertical grip that does more than supply power and something extra to hold on, and some space separation for your F to Z adapter. This one will actually have buttons on it. How exciting. Well, that would be good. Again, addressing a major complaint. It'll have 2 of the X-Speed processors in it, the latest version of that processor. I'm not sure whether we'll get a new one or not, but 2 of them. Well, why do you need 2? Sure, maybe going to 4K 60 FPS, that adds a bit of extra overhead, but it is most likely for the capacity to do face detect, eye detect, bird detect, and all that sort of stuff quicker. People have often asked me, would the Z6 and the Z7 continue to improve? And the single number 1 reason why I gave that it wouldn't is, could the processor do any more than it's currently doing? Well, if you get 2 of them, it's going to be able to do a whole lot more. So having 2 of those processors in there, very exciting. And also, USB power whilst on. Now, this is an exciting one. This is one that I have often thought would be more helpful than just USB when the thing is off. You can power the thing all the time, on or off by USB, constantly filling up your battery with a bit of extra juice. That is so exciting. And of course, the new battery. It's the same form factor that we've always had since the D800, and maybe even before that. So how far? That is going back almost 10 years now. Was that 2012? Something like that. And I've still got my batteries from my D800E, my D810, my D850s, which I still shoot on, and of course the Z6 and the Z7. They're all using the same batteries. I think the D500 uses it as well. And I was very surprised that my Nikon V1, so that means 2012, yeah, all use the same batteries. This is the same battery, but the technology in it allows it to be charged whilst being used. And it is called, so we get it completely correct, it is called the Nikon EN-EL15C. Latest iteration, the C. So this allows charging, in-body charging, as it's being used. Very exciting. So these are the Z6s and the Z7s potential specs. Going to have the same size sensor. I'm completely groovy with that, completely happy with that. And I think the new processors basically mean we're going to get improved focus, which would be the only other thing that anyone could complain about. Because other than that, these cameras are spectacular in every other way, whether it's ergonomics, weather sealing, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before. It's time for me to make another video about the Z6 and the Z7 and why they rock so much. In light of the Z5, which I was going to make a video about the Z5 tomorrow and talk about, well, what does it mean? Now we have another shifting around of things, and it's interesting to see that the Z5 would now become slightly lower than what the Z6 is today as an entry-level camera. The Z6 and the Z7 disappear. The Z6s and the Z7s become sort of, you've got entry-level, full frame, mid, and then higher level, and then of course, and the higher level Z7 will be at 46 megapixels, and then we will see the Z8, which is basically going to be the A7 IV equivalent, which will have the 60 megapixel sensor and whatever else they want to do. But what the A7S becomes is probably the camera that I'm more interested ultimately in. I don't want any more megapixels, I really don't. The only thing that I'd like to see the A7S have is 8K, just because there is a use case for me. I know there is not a use case for most people, but I would love to see it have 8K. And then the Z8 can go and do whatever it wants. So we would have a really interesting lineup. The Z5, the Z6, the Z7, and the Z8, which would leave space for a Z9, and that could be basically your D6 equivalent, probably coming out in something like 2022. With the Z8, I suspect now with this rumoured announcement, the Z8 might be pushed back to early 2021 or late 2020. That would kind of be my guess. But this is really exciting. It makes a lot of sense. Nikon are building on the great foundation that they laid with the Z6 and the Z7. They are directly face on addressing all of the issues that anyone has ever had with the Z6 and the Z7. 2 cards, battery grip, faster focus. These things are being addressed, and in camera charging. All of it being done in this one update. It's been said before, there wasn't very much for Nikon to do to absolutely be level pegging with Sony and Canon, and I think we're seeing it right here. It's a very logical move, makes perfect sense. Couple that with all the great glass. I've got my 24-200 fully paid for, still not here. I've got my 70-200 deposit down, waiting for it. These are amazing bits of glass, and of course we've got those three lenses announced coming very soon. The 50mm 1.2 and the 14-24 2.8, which would round out the Holy Trinity. You'd have an extremely competent system. By the time you have those 3 extra lenses out and the 2 that we're waiting on, the Z6s and the Z7s, living the dream. It's pretty exciting. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about these announcements. Does this make the difference for you? Will this get you over the line? The 2 card slots, definitely improved focus with 2 processors. That's got to be what they're there for. There is not much else that Nikon can add to what the Z6 and the Z7 are already doing. They are already doing a great job. So why do you need those extra processors? It's got to be to crunch every frame as quickly as possible so you can read that frame and decide what to focus on. That and maybe faster video. Not much else, because we already know their current processors do stills quickly because they're doing it in their SLRs. Although, and indeed, there is a separate processing system for focus when it comes to an SLR. What do you think about these cameras? Are you excited? Will this make you buy one? Can't wait. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. It's so good to see you. If it's your first time and you like what you see, please subscribe, please share, please like. You can watch over 200 videos right now. I'll see you soon. Bye. So excited.